The Authority Syndicate, the show for positioning yourself as the #1 authority in your industry, quickly turning your prospects into clients and raving fans. Here is your host, T. Allen Haynes.
Welcome back to the show. We've got a great guest for you today. We've got Barry Shore, and he is the brainchild of Dlyte, and he is a dynamic and successful entrepreneur who simply wants to spread joy everywhere. And it's impossible not to smile when you meet Barry. Barry's bright outlook and Dlyte is the result of 10 years spent fighting and recovering from
Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Is the result of 10 years spent fighting and recovering from Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare neurological disorder that left him a quadriplegic. His resilience and determination enabled him to regain his abilities to walk, build physical strength, and live a satisfying life full of love and peace. Those years gave Barry plenty of time to consider how he could dedicate himself to improving the world. To do the greatest good, he needed others to participate. He wanted it to cost people nothing to support their favorite cause. It should be fast, easy, and fun, and make them feel smart and good. And Dlyte was born. Barry, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tracy. Always a delight and a pleasure to be visiting with you.
Absolutely. That statement of where you can't help to smile when we talk to Barry is absolute truth. So it's always a pleasure, sir. Thank you for your time. So let's get right into it. Tell me and tell the audience, how did this come about, and how are you helping people with what you do?
Thank you, Tracy. Well, hello, everybody. I think you'll find this a bit of an interesting story. As Tracy mentioned, I was standing up in the morning, just like I hope 99.99% of everybody listening. And in the evening, I was in the hospital, paralyzed from my neck down, a quadriplegic from a rare disease called Guillain-Barré syndrome, GBS. Suffice it to say, I was in the hospital for many, many months, hospital bed in my own home for 2 years, couldn't turn over by myself, in a wheelchair for 4 years, and braces on my legs from my hips down to my ankles for years. Suffice to say also that I, thank God, now I'm somewhat vertical and ambulatory, even though by special equipment and a lot of help. But the important thing is, while I was in rehab and in the wheelchair, with rehab, you're with a lot of other people trying to gain back abilities, and I saw that not everybody could afford a wheelchair like I could. I had two wheelchairs, an electric one and a very lightweight one that my attendant, who was with me 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, helping me, could pick up and move around such, and they cost thousands of dollars. Not everybody could afford it. I was moved, and I resolved, thank God I had been very successful in business. I wrote a check to Wheels of the World and gave money. But as I'm laying in bed, remember, I'm a quad, I can't move. I'm laying in bed, I said, this is dumb. This is America. There must be a better way. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. I build things. Thank God, large companies. And Tracy, I literally had a vision. And the vision was this. How can we make it so that people who use their smartphone every single day can go shopping and buy the things they buy all the time, and just by that process give money to their favorite cause, and it doesn't cost them a penny extra. Wow. That's the idea. That's how Dlyte was born.
Wow, that is a big wow. So you realize the challenge and you come up with a solution, and that's absolutely what an entrepreneur does, exactly, is come up with that solution. So what's been the obstacle with people that have been wanting to donate? Because you figured out that there's a certain percentage of people that really care and want to donate, but what had been holding them back?
That's a great question. This is America, the most generous country in the world, the most generous people in the world. We have been raised with a great tradition to not only look out for ourselves and build, but to help others. Everybody wants to feel good, and smart. Well, here's an interesting dilemma. Everybody wants my money. There's only so much I can give at so many times, et cetera, et cetera. I find a cause and I'll write a check. Okay, I wrote my check. Thank you. Go away. So now you take something called crowdfunding, which is very popular these days and really wonderful. And it aggregates a group of friends and relatives and people in outreach and say, let's raise $1,900 to get this person a wheelchair, or $2,800 for this, $3,000 here, $5,000, and you start aggregating a lot of campaigns. Wonderful. So somebody gives money, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100. And now what? Those people raised the money, made the mission, and went away. But there's these hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who, if they could, Tracy, if they could give $5 or $10 a month without costing them a penny, would be glad to continue giving because there's so much need. Am I right? Of course. And what better way to do that than by going shopping? So Dlyte, D as in dynamic, L like in love, Y, yes, T terrific, E exuberant, DLYTE.com, was born to enable people to do the following. I'm going to go get coffee anyway. Okay, I go, I look, oh yeah, they have my favorite coffee place here. I hit the button and I buy a $50 coffee cart. I won't say names, but everybody knows the Starbucks and the Coffee Beans and the other places around the country. I hit, right. I say, give me $50. I pay $50 and I get $50. So perfect transaction, right? But in the course of doing that, some percentage from 1% to 30% goes to the cause of my choice. So I just got my lattes and I gave money. It didn't cost me a penny. Wow, that's America. So now people can continue giving out costing them money. How much smarter can you be? And I'm good. So that's why we aggregate. That's the beauty of Dlyte. Give, shop, earn, give. No cost.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Let me back up a little bit. I have had, I've been fortunate to meet you and talk to you on several occasions, and I know your passion. But along the way, was there really someone that inspired you and impacted you for what you're doing today?
That's a wonderful question. Thank you. The answer is a firm, powerful yes. The greatest influence for me in terms of doing good and doing well were both of my parents. However, especially my mother. My mother taught us something on our birthdays. By the age of 9, we were doing this. On our birthdays, we were urged to go out and buy, again, kids, buy some things like chocolates, little Hershey Kisses and things like that, and give out presents on our birthday. Not necessarily saying, what am I getting? Oh, thank God we got gifts also. But we were urged to go out and give gifts to other people, to be aware of people and situations where others didn't have necessarily. So the greatest influence for that was, thank God, my mother. And over the decades, I witnessed her charm and her ability to not only be a resource of giving and happiness for people, but to do it in the most loving, tender way, so that oftentimes people didn't even know that she was helping them. That's another whole other story. So yes, it was by both of my parents, but primarily my mother. Nice.
Now, this, so you have people that are willing to donate money, and, as you said, that people they only have so much to give, and everybody's asking for a donation. So what are some of the obstacles that people can avoid as far as how to do that? I mean, your solution makes it a lot easier. So how can they overcome, this donation and help a lot of people at the same time?
So thank you. This again is the beauty, and some people call it the genius of Dlyte. Dlyte is easy to use. It's accessible on any web-oriented platform, whether it's the computer or a smartphone or an app. Completely accessible by anybody, anywhere, anytime in the United States of America. So that if you're in Alaska and you're going to order pizza, we have Domino's Pizza as an example, you say, okay, I'm going to get $50 worth of pizza, bing, bing, hit it. And you might be giving money to helping somebody in Austin, Texas. Here's an interesting dilemma. Let me paint the picture for you, Tracy, which I'm sure everybody here knows. You're in a group, and the group wants to raise money for, let's say, veterans. Because, thank God, veterans have been the biggest asset to this country. We don't have our freedom without you wonderful men and women. And we need to help them now because they're coming back and they're getting reoriented to society, et cetera, et cetera. So how wonderful is it to be able to help veterans, especially veterans-owned businesses, and give them the necessary money and tools that they need to really do well? Well, aggregating a lot of people. If you go and say to your friends, okay, everybody, let's chip in $25 a piece. Fine, somebody might do that at one time. But what about if you start asking other people for money, writing checks when you meet them? It's like being an insurance salesman and walking into a crowded room, and the person says, hi, how are you? What do you do? I'm in insurance. And all of a sudden, you're alone in the room because nobody wants to talk to you if you're going to try and sell them life insurance, right? But here's where it gets really exciting. If you're around always asking people to write checks and give money, nobody wants you. Thank you. I'm doing it. Leave me alone. However, if you say to them, whether it's eyeball to eyeball or on social media or in any platform that you are in, hey, everybody, we can now give money and it doesn't cost us anything. You can reach out to friends anywhere in the country, anytime, and say, we have a real need here. We can get 500, 1,000 people, 2,000 people or more, and they start telling their friends, wow, you know something? I just realized I'm going to give a baby gift. My friend just gave birth, and we're going to give them a $100 buy baby buy card or a Bed Bath & Beyond. Wait a minute, go to Dlyte, send them the gift electronically. They'll get it. They'll love it. And you just gave money to help a veterans organization. Oh, my gosh. Now, imagine 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 people giving $5 a month, $10 a month because they went shopping. Well, that's millions of dollars, and it didn't cost anybody a penny, and the benefits and the goodness that was done is enormous.
Wow. Can you share with us how this process has actually helped a nonprofit?
It would be my pleasure and delight. I'll give you an example with a small group. So here's a small group, happens to be in, I think it's in Minnesota, right? So it's a family, and they're trying to help out their son's softball league. I'm sorry, soccer league. And buy equipment and things like that. I'm giving you the small story. So happened to be they heard about Dlyte, called us, signed up, and said, can we help? I said, it would be my pleasure. Just go online and start using it. Well, lo and behold, over the next 60 days, they got, I think it was 28 or 34 of their friends and family around their area, and then about another 12 who lived in different states who were related and friends. They had 45, 49 people, so let's call it 50 for easy numbers. Starting using Dlyte and shopping, they're raising around $550 a month in the past few months alone, more than $1,200, and their goal was only to raise $1,000. And now they keep going, and then other people are telling other people. That's one small story. Here's another one. I was just on the phone just a few days ago with one of the largest Goodwill groups in the country. Happens to be Goodwill of Central Florida. And a really wonderful group that touches the lives, Tracy, touches the lives of over 1.1 million people on a regular basis. Now, everybody knows that Goodwill does great work, not just good work. Most people don't know their mission. Their mission is to help better lives. And they do that, a big outreach to veterans, getting job placement. It's not just about people bringing in old clothes and getting a tax write-off. It's creating the foundations to help people build lives.
Absolutely.
So Goodwill of Central Florida loves this idea because they realize that just getting money from their retail store is not keep them where they need and the forefront of being of benefit. And they see the benefit of Dlyte of allowing thousands of people, tens of thousands of people to recognize, my gosh, I go here and here and here. I'm used as I hit the button. Didn't cost me a penny. If you get 10,000 people giving you $10 a month, that's an extra $100,000 a month. That's 1.2 million a year.
That is awesome. So if people are ready to find out more and start utilizing this, what do they need to do, Barry?
Okay, let's talk about who they are. So there's two theys. One they would be an actual nonprofit or cause, whether it's a veterans organization or, let's say, a soccer league or Goodwill or any organization like that. Reach out and contact us. Go to Dlyte.com, D as in dynamic, Lyte.com. And you can always contact Tracy, and he'll give you the URL. And just go there where it says support and send us an email. We get, thank God, many emails every day, and we respond promptly. And we're here to help set up cause pages and all the processes that are needed for the nonprofit and the cause to raise the money. On the other side, they are the vast numbers of tens of thousands of listeners to your podcast who say, hey, this is great. I'd like to help. And just come on to Dlyte.com, sign up, start using it. You can choose where you want your money to go. Or if you're already associated with an organization, a church, a group that wants to help children, you want to feed children, a food bank, anything, well, let them know. And you say, I want my money to go here. And by the same token, bring them in as a cause. So the two sets of theys are causes, nonprofits, and the other are individuals. Come to the site, use it. It's fast, it's fun, it's easy, and you'll feel really good and very smart.
So is there any cost in setting that up?
Well, yes, we charge hundreds and hundreds of dollars to every cause and nonprofit, and we charge dozens of dollars to everybody who uses it. So the simple answer is no. Zero cost. Absolutely free. I went through being a quadriplegic. I swim to get better. I'm out there in the world trying to do everything we could, and we will not charge anybody a penny to play and work with us. This is about a conduit of good. This is a channel of good. This is everything about an ecosystem of good.
Beautiful. Well, as I said earlier, it's always a pleasure, Barry Shore, to have you on the show, and I'm super excited about helping you get the word out about Dlyte, and thank you again for your time.
Tracy, always a pleasure and a delight, and everybody who's listening, we look forward to being of service and helping you and everything that you can to be of benefit in the world. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. Well, there you have it for this edition of the show. We'll see you the next time.
Thanks for listening to The Authority Syndicate with T. Allen Haynes, the show for positioning yourself as the #1 authority in your industry, quickly turning your prospects into clients and raving fans. We'll see you next time on The Authority Syndicate.